It's Friday night, and what the fuck are you doing? I'll tell you what you're doing. You're sitting home dreaming about sweaty, built men in underwear. And who better to do it with than the Iconoclastic Wrestling Podcast? And here's your host, Iconoclast and Dick Taco.
Welcome to the Iconoclastic Wrestling Podcast. I'm Iconoclast.
And I am your host, Dick Taco.
And let's talk about this week in big buff men in underwear.
You mean wrestling?
Yeah.
You make it sound so cheap and dirty when you call it that.
That's what you call it in our intro.
I know. I called it once. All right. So wait, is there anything you want to talk about before we get in the news? Because I know you got one thing to talk about that is not on the format. So Why don't you do that first?
I will keep saying this because this continues to come to me as I go through Reddit in the Squared Circle subreddit.
There's your problem right there.
And other people have brought this up too. Other people who are fans of AEW. WWE must have some kind of bot campaign to have people push positive shit about them. Because
probably do. They probably have a whole PR department that does it.
The amount of positive stuff that I see about them, like if you go on Squared Circle, but it's supposed to be for all wrestling, it's almost all just WWE shit. And talking about like, oh, Lexis King is amazing. I saw Lexis King.
Wait a minute, what? Back up. Lexis King, amazing? At what?
Wrestling.
No.
He's a great character. NXT has amazing
That's one quadriplegic retarded kid in Idaho in his room saying that, if anybody's for real saying
NXT's got real stars like Oba Femi.
Okay.
Mainly,
that's a person?
Yeah,
I thought that was like an STD or something.
He's the NXT North American champion. He's from like Cameroon.
To break up with you gave me the Oba Femis.
I don't know, the only thing I just think of him, he made some video talking about the best breakfast food. And he's like, pancakes, they're the best breakfast food.
Oh, another guy can do it like a Great Khali-esque promo. Great. That's exactly what we fucking need.
No, it's not as bad as Great Khali. It's just that, like, and people are like, oh, like NXT's the best weekly wrestling show. Shawn Michaels is a genius. I watched NXT last week because I wanted to see it. And you know what? It's better than the WWE main roster, I think.
That's what you said.
But that doesn't mean is diarrhea better than puking? You know? It's like, I don't think that it's good.
Yeah, but you're biased because you don't like the fan at all.
No, I don't like...
I try to stay in the middle or these weekly shows where you just yell at me.
I don't know. It's just the one guy that I like that they have is Charlie Dempsey.
But Charlie Dempsey's like a whore. He goes anywhere for money.
They send him to Bloodsport.
All Japan, which All Japan needs all the help it can get.
Yeah.
They haven't been good in at least
30 years.
No, 15. Because they were still good after the Exodus. So maybe 20. I'll go 20. But you think there's bots out there pushing good PR? They probably is. They probably have a whole PR department.
I refuse to believe that people think that Samantha Irvin is like the best ring announcer ever.
I don't think I think she's like decent looking, but I don't think she's the best ring announcer ever.
Here's the thing. And
she's Ricochet's girl, right?
Yeah, and I don't, great for him. She seems like a nice person, but
yeah.
And I like Ricochet. But the thing
is
bing. What? Oh,
Ricochet Rabbit. Yeah. That's what I think of every time you say that.
Or it's like, and I've heard her a lot from watching Fed shit, and I really don't like saying this because it is a sexist thing to say. It does sound sexist.
Let me have it.
People with deeper voices, which usually would lean towards men, are better ring announcers.
I don't think that's sexist. I didn't like Lillian Garcia during the Attitude Era. I didn't like Mike McGurk when I was a kid.
Who's Mike McGurk?
She was Michelle. I don't know what her middle name or real first name was, but Mike McGurk. She used to do, I don't know if it was Wrestling Challenge or Superstars, but she had a real mousy voice. But she was Leroy McGurk's daughter.
Who's Leroy McGurk?
Who ran NWA Tri-State before Watts bought it and made Mid-South. So he was blinded in like a car accident or something. Jim Ross, that was his job getting into business, driving him around because he was that and refereeing.
It's just that, like, when you have a high-pitched voice like that, I feel that it's, like when you have to raise your voice, obviously, to speak, you have to project. It sounds more like you're screaming. Where if you listen to,
she does sound like she's yelling. Like Howard Finkel was probably the best ring announcer.
Like if you listen to someone like Justin Roberts, who I know used to work for WWE,
he's good.
It sounds like you're bellowing, not like you're screaming.
It took me a long time to warm up to him, Justin Roberts.
Didn't Bryan Danielson try choking him out once?
Yeah, that's why Danielson got fired the first time when they were with the new Nexus, which everybody talks about that being a great moment. I'm like, it was stupid. They didn't do anything with it. And then they threw him. Yeah.
Oh, what? When the Nexus attacked Cena?
Yeah, but when the Nexus didn't do anything until Punk got in there and they changed everybody.
And then they had the core with the guys who got kicked out.
Yeah, nobody gave two shits.
Wade Barrett. No, but it's just that I do think that there is a concentrated bot campaign pushing positive stuff about them. And Tony Khan said the same thing.
Of course he's going to say that. He's a big baby.
No, but I think he's telling the truth there.
Well, he might be. I'm not disputing it.
And I know you said Meltzer. You said before the show, Meltzer says that NXT is amazing. And I say that Meltzer, do we even know Dave Meltzer's a real person? Has anyone actually seen him in person?
Other than you seeing him with his dog with the microphone on
maybe he's just like an AI image.
I don't know.
Like Maroon 5.
Why wouldn't you make... Oh, who?
But he's like Maroon 5.
They're not real?
No.
Since when? I've seen Adam Levine before.
He's not real. It's made up. It's made up from the images of 40-year-old wine moms.
Oh, my God. You sound like the girl who tells me the earth was flat and it was water out there. I'm going to lose it. But no, Tony, if it's true, Tony should take a cue and get his own bots out there. Because he's the only one that does the PR, and he sucks at it. We could do a show just listening to one interview with him. Every time he says, great, or dynamite this Wednesday, you take a shot of whiskey. You'd be fucking throwing up. We're only, 7 minutes in almost? You'd be throwing up by the 15-minute mark.
Title Tuesday.
Title Tuesday. Yeah, fuck him. He should take a cue. Because if they're doing it, it's obviously people believe it. So why doesn't Tony do it?
I don't know. It's just... Because I remember reading this one really brain-dead take on the Squared Circle subreddit. I got to bring this up.
Squared Circle subreddit's one of the more tame ones on
Someone
there
said
that I can deal with people.
That, with Punk and WWE... It's like, Punk never had a problem with anyone in AEW. Everybody had a problem with him. How deep is Phil Brooks' phallus buried in your throat? Can you breathe right?
Who said that?
Someone on Reddit. Someone made a post saying that.
Yeah, but you don't think that's true?
No!
Hangman didn't like him. Young Bucks didn't like him.
Because Punk can't work with anybody. The reason it's working in WWE is because they have him by the balls. And because he can't fucking go anywhere else. And I'm telling you,
there's nowhere else to go.
Exactly. It's not going to work out. I still bet
that's partly Tony's fault that there's nowhere else to go. He killed the independents. He did.
He made it better for them. Those indie guys.
No, he made it better. Yeah, he made it better for them getting money. He made it better for him because he has everybody.
And now also those indie wrestlers can get paid more and get
that's true.
Health insurance and shit.
But anyway.
And get on a better stage.
Punk's a draw. Your mother even says it.
Yeah, well, no. I bet you next week when he wrestles at SummerSlam, he's going to walk out. Achoo! My ACL!
We'll see.
You admit that he's brittle.
Sure.
And
he's older, too.
And he's not a good wrestler.
I don't want to hear his bullshit anymore. Because you think John Moxley, you want to go to John Moxley's wrestling school or something, if he has one.
Actually, who trained him? I'm going to look that up.
I forget. I was looking at it the other day. Hold on. I'm bringing it up, too, because I'm going to tell you how much they suck, too.
Kurt Angle.
No, he didn't.
I'm joking. Trained by Cody Hawk, Les Thatcher.
Les Thatcher's an old-time guy from, trying to remember who he was. Where did he wrestle?
Jonathan Davis.
Oh, Les Thatcher's a guy from, Tennessee area. He held the NWA the Mid-America Tag Team Championship, Southern Tag Team Championship, and Tennessee Tag Team Championship.
Jonathan David Moxley. No, Jonathan David Good. 6'4", 225.
I can't believe he's that tall. But he is. It's documented.
God, you.
No, I couldn't believe he was that tall. He didn't look bigger than Rollins and Reigns when he was with him.
Because he's gotten into better shape since WWE.
Oh, my hatred goes all the way back to Heartland Wrestling Association.
Combat Zone.
Cocksucker.
He's a great wrestler.
Shut up.
They've given him time off. I saw you put that.
Yeah, I put that on there, but he's
because he hasn't been there since.
He didn't disappear, did he? He's not off. Is he off the wagon? But anyway,
God, you really do hate him. You hate him as a.
I hate him as a person. I hate him as a wrestler. I hate him as a plumber.
Why? Why do you hate him as a person?
If he was a plumber, I'd be like, you can't plumb. You suck.
Plumb. That's not the verb. That's not.
I know.
That's not the action of plumbing.
You gotta plumb. You plumb the depths.
That's
the
not,
depths of hell.
That's not a fucking word.
Shut up. Can we get to the fucking news now? You want to do the Federation because you hate them, and we'll get them out of the way.
I hate Punk.
All right, well, I know you hate Punk. You talk about me with my irrational hatred. You fucking hate. I've had to hear how you don't like Phil Brooks for 2 days now. Because your mother's birthday was yesterday, and I had to fucking hear it all day yesterday.
Punk versus McIntyre, we've already talked about that.
Yeah, well, no, we said it was going to happen. They had made it official last Monday on Raw. I wrote, Punk looks great, looks about 25 pounds bigger, tanner, and looks 10 years younger than his AEW run.
Yeah, because... I don't know who. Whatever.
You
got his phallus buried deep
Oh,
in your
please!
throat.
Now I just know real talent when I see it.
I know real talent when I see it.
You don't know your ass from a hole in the wall. All right, McIntyre is going all out in this feud with Punk. You saw the picture with Perry, right?
Yes.
And he also mentioned Colt Cabana on Twitter, and he took him down right away. I guess because he's trying to make it like he wasn't supposed to do it. But apparently, there's no backstage heat whatsoever.
Did you hear that, Sports Skeeta?
No, I don't go there. That's like getting food out of a septic tank. Why would I go there? They sponsor fucking Russo. They got their head up their ass.
Listen, bro.
But McIntyre and Punk are working closely, and everything's been green-lit by him.
I still don't believe that.
Well, good. Maybe that's good. Maybe you shouldn't believe it. You didn't think he was coming back at Survivor Series, and he came back. Sometimes when we get worked, it's better. All right, I wrote down about a SummerSlam preview. We'll save that till the end now.
No, let's just do it right
now. No, hold on. There's only 2 more things to talk about for WWE. The Rock's, I know you're excited about this, The Rock's movie filming schedule.
You know how much I hate Dwayne Johnson.
His movie filming schedule is over. He's clear for a return.
I hate him as a person. I hate him as a wrestler. I don't like his promos.
I thought you were going to say plumber and just say everything.
I hate him as a plumber, too.
He can't plumb either.
It's just that, I think he's a shitty person. He's got a big
that's
ego.
absolutely. Brian Last has something against him.
I don't
know what it is.
He was never good in the ring. You acknowledge that.
Yeah, he's just this.
But even then,
he's a gecaron.
Like, when I listen to his promos, it's just a lot of catchphrases.
Yeah, but they stick, like Final Boss and shit. They stick. To this day, 25 years later, they stick. That's what I'm talking about. WWE... The way we can talk about this is WWE compared to AEW. AEW sells you the steak. WWE sells you the sizzle. Because the steak is the match. The sizzle is what gets you there. So
I think AEW's had good sizzle.
Name one. See, you can't do it.
What they're doing with Mariah May and Tony Storm.
All right, fine. I'll give you that one.
What Hangman and Swerve. Remember when they had Swerve break into Hangman's house?
Swerve is something else, man. Like, he really... I was very upset. I'm going to save it for when we talk about Blood and Guts. But I was very upset the way that started, and he saved it all by himself.
When he did the thing with the staple gun?
Yeah. Save it till we get there, though, because we got a lot to talk about with that. And before we get to the SummerSlam preview, I read today Julia and Stephanie McKeer are starting soon, with McKeer starting immediately per Triple H, and that comes from Wrestle Talk.
Great. More shit with NXT.
I don't think Steph's going to NXT.
No, I thought she was.
No, she already debuted at house shows, but they were WWE house shows. It wasn't NXT.
I don't know what the difference is.
All right, let's go to Wikipedia.
Also, well, maybe that was just because it was...
You're right. It might have nothing to do with
it. And maybe just because that was in Mexico City.
You had to stick it up their ass just because they took her from there? That's fucked up if they did that.
Or maybe because it was like she's not Mexican. She's from Chile, I think.
She don't speak no English, though.
Oh, yeah, what, you're going to bring up how AEW forgot to send her a cab?
No, I already said that. I'm not going to beat that to death.
SummerSlam 2024 with one of the worst posters I've ever seen.
Yeah, we'll throw that back up there again, even though we did that last week.
Damian Priest versus Gunther.
We knew that was happening.
Bayley versus the woman who you think is the second coming of Carl Gotch.
I did not.
That's the way you talk about her.
I think she's good. She's another she's The Rock's cousin. She's another one of them Samoans. That's why you don't like her.
Listen, I gotta bring this up right now before we keep continuing this.
I need to buy you a shirt though that says "racist against Samoa."
You think
Bomb Samoa? There we go.
You think that I'm racist against Samoa? I think WWE is being at least implicitly racist against Samoa.
WWE has been implicitly racist for decades.
For one, with the Samoan. For one, with the bloodline, they're basically saying that all Pacific Islanders are Samoan because Tamatonga, Tongaloa, and Hikuleo are Tongans. They aren't Samoans.
Yeah, and we know where the difference between the two of them is because we had a geography lesson the 1 week.
Then they're also not only are they doing that, but then they're saying that they're all part of the same family. They're all related.
I told you outside yesterday, at the shore town I grew up in, all the fucking Greek kids were all cousins.
Yes,
somehow.
I know what shore town you grew up in. There were about 500 people there.
Yeah, but no, that was more than that. There was about 500 Greeks there, and they were all cousins. And they all had a hotel or a fucking restaurant. Because I worked at a bunch of them when I was in high school. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley, I am
offended by this storyline.
Why are you offended? Why do you get so offended?
Because, listen, wrestling is an art form. And what they're doing on there for ratings, it's not art, it's garbage.
It's the sizzle.
It's a shitty sizzle. You know what? It's a sizzle to smell of shit.
But I think that match should go on last. I do. Because Cody versus Solo.
Don't look at his
nobody gives a rat's ass about that match.
Solo! My Takaloa! Where's the human sacrifice?
I feel like a fucking gorilla got loose in here. Logan Paul versus LA Knight, another rematch. Which, Logan Paul, I'm over him.
I hate Logan Paul most of any of these wrestlers.
I don't really like LA Knight all that much.
Yeah, catchphase machine.
Yeah. And Sami
Zayn. Yeah.
Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker, another rematch, which I hope Braun goes over this time because I think he should have gone over there last time. I'm sick of hearing about, I've been saying it since WrestleMania. They made such a big fucking deal about Sami winning the title. It's the fourth fucking time he won it. Like I said before, when Roddy Piper won the IC title in '92, he was there for 9 years on and off. That's the only belt he ever had till 2000 when he came back.
But again, I think it more was a big deal because it was that he beat Gunther, and Gunther had the longest ever reign.
I guess. But, nobody gave a shit. Well, the Ultimate Warrior is the one that beat Honky Tonk. And he was a late substitute.
For Steamboat.
No, Beefcake. Oh. Beefcake had gotten attacked on Saturday morning by Outlaw Ron Bass. Nobody. They were brothers in Florida. He was way past it. But he cut Beefcake open with his spurs. And they put a sensor thing up and all that. And then he finally got his revenge on him on Saturday Night's Main Event and cut his hair.
It's garbage.
Shut up.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah. Yesterday, I was reading about the two Ultimate Warriors theory.
Yeah, they used to say that.
Kerry Von Erich was the Ultimate Warrior?
Yeah, then Kerry went to the WWF, so that was the end of that. Jim Hellwig was the only dingo Ultimate Warrior ever.
Technical malfunctions. Wait.
Hulk Hogan.
Take that plane into a nosedive! Hulk Hogan!
And finally, the match you've been waiting for, CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre.
It's not going to happen.
You're going to get your Drew McIntyre. You're going to get a Drew McIntyre shirt before Saturday?
It's not even going to happen. Or if it does happen, it's going to be 2 minutes because Punk's going to get hurt.
If he does, if he comes out there and has a performance like Shane McMahon at that WrestleMania where he leapfrogged and tore his fucking quads. Oh, my God. That poor bastard. That's the last time you're ever going to see him either like that.
Shane?
And you haven't seen him since.
Shane? Yeah, might be going
to
AEW.
I have to say, I don't know about that. I think that story might have been made up. Not by Tony. I'm not saying that about Tony. But
Tony didn't exactly deny
What is up with the... Yeah, now watch. Steph will come out next year and introduce everybody, and she'll pull her quad because, as I've said before, the McMahon quads are made of, notebook paper. So...
I forget. Well, Vince tore both of his. Did Shane tear both of his?
No, he just tore one. But hats off to Snoop Dogg for saving that match and getting in there because Shane's on the ground holding his leg. He's very clearly saying, I'm fucked! I'm fucked!
Wait, was that WrestleMania 39?
Yeah, it wasn't this year. It was
last year.
But he was
WrestleMania
great.
38. I remember
he did that leapfrog, and you could hear the people were about ready to start chanting, and you still got it, and then he fucking landed.
I just remember when WrestleMania 38, how shitty that was.
30?
No, 38.
Oh, the one, was that the first one back from COVID? No, second one. 37.
Let me just read to you some of the matches.
From 38?
Yeah. Because this was the first.
Is that the one with Taker and AJ?
No.
No, that's before
that.
Yeah.
That was during the pandemic.
That was the only good match I heard.
They fought in like the swamp.
Yeah, but that was the only good match on the show.
Usos versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs.
Get it out of here.
Drew McIntyre defeated Happy Corbin.
Get it out of here.
The Miz and Logan Paul defeated Ray and Dominic. Because this is back when Dominic Mysterio was a face.
I remember that. That's where they introduced Logan, wasn't it?
Yeah, Bianca Belair defeated Becky Lynch.
Was not a fan of that match.
This is when Cody versus Seth frickin' Rollins.
The first time.
Yeah. Charlotte Flair defeated Ronda Rousey.
That closed the first night, I believe.
Yeah, and Stone Cold defeated Kevin Owens. But that wasn't really a match. It was more like...
Yeah, but that was good. That was well done. And I went to sleep after Ronda and, who was it, Ronda and Charlotte? I went to sleep
after that. Then we got RK Bro defeated the Street Profits and Alpha Academy. Bobby Lashley, who might be going to AEW, defeated Omos.
I hear more news that he might be going to TNA. Back there.
I think that
he's a guy you got to give a lot to when he comes in, though. Like he's not going to stay there on the mid card. I mean, he might for the money Tony throws around, but I wouldn't with his
Johnny
reputation.
Knoxville defeated Sami Zayn. That was entertaining.
I hate Party Boy. Pontius, the guy that came out in his underwear. That's the guy I talk about that had the crabs and they shaved his pubes to put the guy's beard on. Fucking scuzz bucket.
Sasha Banks and Naomi defeated Carmella, one of your favorites. Queen Zelina.
North Jersey Freeway, Dyke.
What?
North Jersey Freeway. I didn't mean to say Dyke. I meant to say something else. But
Liv
no,
Morgan
North Jersey
and Rhea
Freeway,
Ripley.
sucking under the freeway. Go ahead.
Natalya and Shayna Baszler. Edge defeated AJ Styles.
I don't remember that one. I don't know if I watched the second night.
Sheamus and Ridge Holland with Butch. This is back when the Brawling Brutes were around.
I remember that.
Defeated the New Day.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Pat McAfee defeated Austin Theory with Mr. McMahon.
That was Vince's last appearance.
Yeah, Mr. McMahon defeated Pat McAfee.
That was when Vince got in the ring and everybody cheered. And he took off his jacket.
And he had the black tank top.
But he's still in decent shape. But he looks like a fucking old man. And then McAfee just ran into his clotheslines. And then Austin had to come out and stun him. And he took the worst stunner I've seen ever. And I think he almost hit himself with his own knee.
And then Roman Reigns defeated Brock Lesnar. Winner takes all. And that's when he became the undisputed champion.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see that. I don't think I watched Night 2 that year.
Roman Reigns.
That sounds like one of the worst WrestleManias ever. I thought you said 30 at the beginning. I was like, 30 was great.
I thought everyone loved 30.
Yeah,
What's the worst one you remember? Was it like 7 or 9?
Of all the ones I ever seen?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are all good. 7 is eh. But
Is
I was still young.
Is that the one with Hogan with the black eye?
No, that's 9. 9's pretty bad. 9's bad. 11's not that great. That's Lawrence Taylor and Bam Bam Bigelow.
Isn't 2000 pretty bad?
Yeah, it must be because I don't remember it. 15's bad. 99, the one in Philly. But it was Backlash.
Oh, you always talk about Backlash.
Because it's fucking great, and it wasn't supposed to be. It was in this little fucking arena in Providence, Rhode Island. Al Snow and them went outside. They were fighting in the snow and shit.
Head cheese.
Yeah, Steve Blackman and him. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else. 2000's bad. 15's bad. What's after 2017 that people hail that as the greatest? It's a toss-up for me between 17 and 3. Just because of the crowd.
WrestleMania 3's got a good crowd, but the matches suck. Besides...
No. Savage Steamboat, the 6-man tag between just watching everybody that got wronged by Dangerous Danny Davis get their hands on him and beat the shit out of him. And he could sell like
shitty wrestler.
Sell like a motherfucker. He was supposed to be shitty. He was a jobber. But he was a referee. He caused Savage to beat Tito Santana for the Intercontinental title. He let him cheat. And then like 2 months later, he handed the tag belt to the Hart Foundation.
Again, we all know who the best jobber of all time is.
Sandy Beach. Barry Horowitz. Got a push, actually, in 95. Came out to Hava Nagila because he was Jewish.
Sandy Beach, a.k.a. Sunny Beach.
Barry Horowitz, Tom Stone. I can remember them all.
Who was the Iron Mike Sharp?
Iron Mike Sharp. Canada's greatest athlete. You just remember that.
Who was the big black guy we were talking about?
Big black guy jobber?
Yeah.
You got to give me... I don't know. There wasn't a lot of black jobbers.
We got Hardbody Harrison.
He's in prison. He's in prison.
Sex trafficker.
Fucking scumbag.
Vince, take note.
Yeah, and you know where he is, Vince. You're going to be under where he is.
Don't judge me.
Let's
go to the AEW news here. Go ahead. This is these are your people here.
Kill Switch injured in trios title win.
Ain't that a bitch? And let's also talk about they win the AEW trios title, right? But they separated the titles again?
I don't know.
Because if you go down the list, Dustin and Marshall and Ross Von Erich beat Undisputed Flatulence for the ROH six-man titles at Battle of the Belts, which I didn't even know was fucking on. I wrote, so now they're separated again? What the fuck?
No one knows. I think this was the perfect opportunity to retire them.
Yeah, just get rid of them. You either keep them together or you just get rid of them. Too many fucking belts. All right.
Yeah, the Bang Bang Gang had a wheelbarrow.
At least you can say that. I say gang bang gang all the time. I can't even talk right.
Yeah, Jay White, Juice. No, well, Jay White is out for a little bit.
And Juice and the Ass Boys, right?
Yeah.
Melissa Santos joins AEW broadcast.
I think that's MJF's girlfriend.
I don't remember, but I wrote that down. I didn't know who the hell she was.
Buddy Matthews re-signed.
Yeah, well, what I heard about this was he was going to go back to WWE, which makes sense because his wife's there. But I wonder what they could have done with the storyline, inserting him into it. I feel so bad because he's such a big, massive-looking dude, and his name's Buddy.
That's not his real name.
I know, but they gave him. It's even worse than if you gave him that name. It's like let's have a bunch of guys together with like soft names, like Buddy and Dylan and Cody. And Todd.
His real name is Matthew.
Oh, yeah, because his last name is Matthew. He's Australian, too, right?
Yes.
Keith Lee, AEW deal ending relatively soon. Everybody can take a collective sigh of relief for that. Get him out of here. Back bacon Keith Lee.
Well, because he's been injured most of his time in AEW.
All right, let's do...
We're never going to get him versus Swerve.
No. Can you get him...
I remember when they were tag champs.
Who, Swerve and him? Yeah, Swerve and Our Glory. They broke up, and they never followed up on anything because he got hurt, didn't he?
Yeah, and then they had something where Swerve hit him with a cinder block.
Oh, yeah. That's when I was pissing all over the cinder blocks because I thought it was stupid.
Well, because if you remember, you and I saw when Keith Lee debuted.
Yeah, we did.
We saw Dynamite Live.
One of those, was that in Philly?
It was in Atlantic City.
Oh.
Where Keith Lee showed up, and he was fighting. I remember it was Isaiah Cassidy, back when the Hardy Family Office still existed.
Oh, God.
And he picked up Isaiah Cassidy and tossed him across the ring like a lawn dart.
I'm going to Blood and Guts 2024 so we can go over the results for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about how I felt looking at it.
Look, I just think Anarchy in the Arena is better than Blood and Guts.
Oh, sure. Blood and Guts, they don't do it to... I mean, it's almost like they're like, we're going to do Blood and Guts, and that's it. Like, they don't... Remember last year I was bitching about the long entrances that they went to the fuck? Yeah, but
that's because it was built around Ibushi.
Yeah, but even that, like, they were going to commercial when the guys are walking to the ring. And it wasn't just like Moxley, who always comes from far away. The BBC, the BCC.
Blackpool Combat Club, one of the greatest stables in the history of wrestling.
Yeah, their leader is MIA right now.
He's not the leader. Danielson's the leader.
Yeah, nobody cares about that, though. But anyway, Chris Jericho defeats Minoru Suzuki by pinfall in a match of two overweight old men. Probably
no, Suzuki was beating the shit out of him.
Good. It's a shame he didn't put him in the fucking hospital.
Well,
he was about to this learning tree
and
shit.
Then Jericho hit him with a low blow.
Of course he did. He's a heel. But Big Bill and Brian Keith, the learning tree, were barred from ringside.
And now Sammy Guevara's sadly back.
Yeah, in Ring of Honor, he's going to be back.
I was really.
Is he going to be the linchpin star of that now? Since Tony said he's going to do more with it.
Maybe.
Well, then they're fucked. That's all I got to say. They are fucked. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, defeated Hikaru Shida by submission.
That was a good match.
Pac defeated Boulder. Who? Did he defeat an actual Boulder?
No, because they have the faction Boulder, Bear. No, there's Boulder, one of the other guys, and Jack Jameson. They're the Iron Savages.
They sound like Mortal Kombat characters.
They're the guys who come out with the pre-workout and talk about we're gonna eat that ass. Or it's titty time, and the guy takes his. They're very strange.
They gotta go. They gotta go.
They're on Collision Main.
Get them out of here.
They're on Collision Main.
It's amazing how far Collision has fallen.
It was created solely for Punk. It has no reason to
I know, but it was better when they had a different beginning and they had other people on it, like Punk and FTR were on there a lot.
Yeah. Then FTR had to go to the personality store to buy a personality.
They're still not back yet. They need to get their money back if they bought personalities from there. The Glamour Mariah May defeated Caitlin Alexis. Who? By pinfall.
Local talent. It was mainly it was one of those things where comes out, beats her in a minute, and then cuts a promo. And then Tony Storm attacked her.
All right, let's move on to this shit.
Mariah, are you prepared to die?
Is that what Tony said to her?
Yes.
That's another good match that I'll be looking forward to. That's it all in, right?
Yes.
All right, let's get on to this shit so I don't have to talk about it anymore, and I have to. 48 minutes of 40 seconds, which most of it was annoying. But it was the blood and guts. It was saved by Swerve Strickland.
And Cody.
What, with the one drop kick he threw?
He did more than that.
Like I challenge you to go back and watch that and take notes and tell me what else he did.
He did ripcord. He did the Rainmaker, his finisher, the ripcord lariat, or at least he tried to. But
it was Team AEW, Swerve Strickland, Mark Briscoe, Darby Allin, Max Caster, and Anthony Bowens. Already, I told you the other week I thought the Elite would be going over of the Jackson Boys, O'Cody, Jack Perry, and Hangnail Page.
Kane?
He's
playing the same role that Kane did in Corporation. He's
like O'Cody?
No, Hangman. He's like the crazy guy when they got Kane from the insane asylum.
Yeah, he came out and jumped Swerve, and
they're like, "Hangman, you better get in here right now!
You're fired." You. But he handcuffed.
I told you, it made me think of. This isn't part of the deal, Brian! This isn't part of the deal! I don't have a deal with you, Booker Man.
Yeah, but it was not executed anywhere nearly as good as that. And that was a surprise anyway. But he handcuffed Swerve to the cage, which he didn't even get in there until he was out there. He was crucified to the cage for 20 of those minutes.
And then
because Hangman jumped him.
And then they had Nana came out with wire cutters, and then Cutler, I think, may have come out. Or Nana came out to try to get him out, and then I forget. Jarrett came out first, Jeff Jarrett.
But Billy Gunn crotch chopped him and hit him, and then Jarrett whacked him over the head with the guitar.
And that was a great guitar shot.
Yeah, but it's breakable. But
it looked like it was it looked really funny because the guitar didn't break apart. It was just
his head went in it. Yeah,
it was like it was out of Looney Tunes. His head just went through and then he fell over. Because Brandon Cutler is now the executive stooge.
Again, get him out of here. He doesn't belong here.
He's in the Elite.
Yeah, there's too many people in there. But then Swerve gets in like a pseudo hot tag in a tag match and just starts fucking up everybody.
Staple gun?
Yeah, the Bucks had opened up a case that had staple guns in it. He just starts stapling people, stapled the guy in the cheek. The best was when Okada gave him the bird and he staple gunned the finger. That was my favorite because I didn't see that coming. Swerve's pretty good. I was very upset when they started with him strapped to the cage because I was like, this is no way to treat
the idea is
your
that
world
he's
champion.
Supposed to be the main guy, and they can't get him in.
But when everybody gets in, it's submission or surrender.
No pinfalls.
No pinfalls, yeah, which, that's the way War Games always was and everything. But Darby Allin doused Jack Perry after he handcuffed him to the cage. The scapegoat, the bread the delivery man, strapped him to the cage and poured gasoline on him and said he wanted a title match or he's going to light his ass on fire. Now, he already lit him on fire with a flamethrower the 1 week.
Kind of.
Yeah. You knew that he was covered in the retardant gel. So probably that he wasn't this time. So you knew they weren't going to do it. And you didn't care anyway because they already fucking did it. But I got a hard time getting a hard on for for a grill lighter after I seen the flamethrower.
Well, but I told you they couldn't. I told you this before we started. They couldn't have the flamethrower there because they need
because you would have had to get it under the ring or something.
Because not only do you have to get it under the ring, you have to be able to get it out, but you only have a little bit of space between the cage and
it's like Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, and the ring. So you can only keep so much stuff under there. You have to have enough space to be able to pull it out and get it up.
Was there a top on it too?
Yes, nobody fought on. They didn't fight on the top, but they fought on like the pillars around. Like,
yeah, because Anthony Bowens fell. Yeah, that was pretty good. That was a good spot.
Last year, I remember they fought on top of the cage.
Well, see, the thing is, when War Games was originally invented, the cage was only like tight to the ring. But I don't blame them for doing like Hell in a Cell type because that's what everybody does now anyway. But also, is that the one where MJF renamed the international title the American title?
Yes, to get heat.
Yeah.
That's what.
And then took a picture with Kurt Angle saying, we have to do our best to stop UK invaders. So.
Well, now he's going over to a Rev Pro show to defend it against Michael Oku.
Well, he's going to go over there because that's where Ospreay used to always go. Speaking of Swerve, why did he wrestle Amazing Red at a shit indie show called Hog something? Why would you let your world champion...
It's not in kayfabe. It's not canon to the AEW storyline.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Like, they advertised for it. I was able to find it by accident. Like, I think...
Yes, but it's not part of AEW's canon storyline.
Well, no, I'm not even talking about it being part of the storyline. I'm talking about risking your world champion getting hurt at a shit indie show. Like, I would talk about Moxley doing GCW. Or he's like, yeah, I got suplexed on a bunch of beer cans. That was dope. I'm like, dope. The only dope is the one talking.
John Moxley's a super soldier. He could unscrew your head and drink from it.
No, he couldn't.
Just like you say Jack Perry couldn't beat your ass.
Jack Perry could not beat my ass. And if he's listening right now, I would challenge him to fight. I don't think he could beat my ass.
He's gotten in better shape, though, since...
I don't give a shit. He could not kick my ass. I'm like probably 8 inches taller than him, and I got him by about 80 pounds, and I haven't been carded for alcohol since I was 16 years old. He doesn't look like... That picture of him and McIntyre, it looked like somebody McIntyre was buying weed from. I mean, that's my problem with these guys. Like, there's no...
Well, I'm sorry that they don't look like they're on steroids like the guys in WWE.
I'm not even talking about that.
Where they don't have to be all big and juiced up like Orton and Styles.
Yeah, but they aren't always juiced up.
They are now. Look at Orton.
He looks like the fucking... I know he gained like 35 pounds when he was out. I told you, they came back looking like the Road Warriors, the two of them. They should have teamed them up.
Just because a guy looks like a normal person doesn't mean he shouldn't be able to be a wrestler.
No. They're not normal people. They're undersized people. Okada looks normal. He's not any kind of jacked up. He's about 6'3", which for being Japanese is like 8 feet tall because they're all short. But he's normal looking.
Jack Perry and I are the same height.
Yeah, but I think you could kick his ass. I think you could just hit him with something. You hit him with one move, he'll be down on his ass. Hit him with a 2x4. Fuck him.
I'll hit you with he'll run you over with the scapegoat mobile.
That's the only way he's going to beat me. And he better kill my ass, because when I get out of that hospital, I'll be coming for him. And all of that Luke Perry money from 90210.
Put you in the snare trap.
What's that, his finisher?
Used to be his finisher.
I think getting beat up by Jack Perry, getting hit by him would be like getting bit by a mosquito. Like, that's what I think it would be.
You just don't like wrestlers who remind you of you. That's why you don't like...
Well, it just makes it look like anybody can do it.
I don't think it does. I think when they do skilled moves, it shows that you need training to do it.
And I'm not even picking on the Bucks here, because I've seen the Bucks do plenty of skilled moves, even though I don't like them either. I haven't seen Jack Perry do a skilled move. He instantly devalued the IWGP title that one year by getting a title shot against that loser Sonata. But anyway, I could talk about undersized wrestlers and how mad they suck all day.
Marco
stunted growth. Speaking of shitty wrestlers, Lee Moriarty wins the Ring of Honor Pure title.
Oh, speaking of, we got to talk about Death Before Dishonor's card.
All right, hit that up now, because I forgot about that. I actually have to download that, too. I'm actually going to do that now while we're talking.
That's something you find a YouTube stream of.
Well, I'm just going to get it off of one of those sites.
Oh, crap. You have only one fucking bar here?
No, I got 4 bars right here. What, you talking about for
the phone?
Internet?
I'm not on your internet. I'm not on your internet. Okay, here we go. Results. We had the debut of MXM Collection.
Is that Maxim Male Models?
Yeah,
that was?
They were very entertaining. Mason Madden and Mansoor.
We may have to talk about this again next week when I download, because I think I'm going to watch it.
Because say what you want about the two of them, but I saw them. They are entertaining.
I've heard enough good stuff about them. I just don't know enough to make a judgment.
They got a really shitty gimmick in WWE, and they did what they could with it, being male models, where LA Knight was their agent. They defeated the Spanish Announce Project, Angelico and Serpentico.
What?
The Spanish Announce Project. It used to be Serpentico and Luther, and then Luther got promoted to be in Tony Storm's.
You call that a fucking promotion?
And then
he hasn't talked in a year and a half.
And then they had Angelico, who used to be with Jack Evans.
Yeah, they were a hell of a tag team going back to Lucha Underground.
Yeah, and Jack Evans, his contract got expired.
Yeah, I'd rather watch Bob Evans, the guy that makes the fucking sausages.
I thought you said Jack Evans was good when he did those huge dives.
No, that was Angelico. That wasn't Jack Evans. Jack Evans, I wouldn't know Jack Evans if he fell on me. I mean, I know what he looks like, but...
Marina Shafir defeated Angelica Risky, who doesn't even have a Wikipedia hyperlink.
Yeah, she must be a real winner.
The Infantry, Captain Sean Dean, and Carly Bravo with...
That sounds like a goddamn, team from Starrcade 90.
With Trish Adora, Tag Team Tournament of the Universe.
Yeah, but it sounds like there's freaking... Remember the South African guys that were in the tournament? That's what it reminds me of.
Defeated Griff Garrison and Anthony Henry with Maria Kanellis.
Anthony Henry still around?
Yeah. Top Flight, Dante and Darius Martin defeated the Outrunners, Truth Magnum and Turbo Floyd. They are a strange team. I saw an interview with them, and that was, they're like Scott Steiner's parodies.
Without the talent?
Look, when people think of Steiner, they don't think of his amateur wrestling capabilities. They think of, I took her up to my bungalow!
Yeah, it's a shame that
and she pissed on it! So she called me the big bad booty daddy!
The problem is, it's a shame about Steiner because his whole career as a tag team wrestler and all that shit, when he started in Indianapolis and him inventing basically the Hurricane Rana in America and all that, because it was originally called the Frankensteiner. And they had names for their own clothesline, Steiner lines and shit. It's a shame all that gets forgotten because he's like a fucking clown show now.
Well, he is. I told you, he said the thing about AEW where it's like they don't have stories. And then he said that...
He's right to a degree.
What?
I said to a degree. He's right to a degree.
That's not... And Sean
they got stories that go nowhere, and you know that.
Well, Sean Ross Sapp said that, if you don't like the stories, that's subjective, but you can't say that they don't have stories.
I could say anything I want when Sean Ross Sapp says it. He can suck a fart out of my asshole. Fuck him. Okay. Stupid shit he hides behind a paywall.
The first 4 matches...
Hold on. AEW donating for Toys for Tots. He held that behind a paywall. Cocksucker. Go ahead.
They had the first 4 matches were on the pre-show. First match of the main show was the Beast Mortos defeated Commander.
Who? Who are these fucking guys?
Commander's been in AEW
I feel like the guy in Major League. Never heard of these guys. And the guys I have heard of are way past their prime.
Beast Mortos, also known by the name Black Taurus.
Oh, well, that clears up everything.
The Undisputed Kingdom, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett defeated the Conglomeration, Kyle O'Reilly and Tomohiro Ishii.
Yeah, that's a thrown together team. But Undisputed Flatulence beat somebody?
Yeah.
What happened to Mike Bennett? That's all I gotta say.
Matt Taven and Mike Bennett was like...
I liked them in Ring of Honor 10 fucking years ago when they were the Kingdom with Adam Cole and Matt Hardy.
Well, yeah, when they would pay Matt Hardy $10,000 to show up.
25! For what?
To show up and walk around.
Suck! That was back when all those guys were doing that, though, because you would get, when you would go to WWE, you'd have to pay for your shit up front yourself back then. But, guys like Gabe Sapolsky and them, and when Cornette was running Ring of Honor, they would fly the guys in and take care of their lodging, their cars, everything. That's why AJ, I can't stop talking about that Battle of the Belts 2015 that had some of the biggest names on that card. Cole, AJ, Roderick Strong, Okada, Nakamura, the Briscoes,
Because they flew the guy.
The Bucks were there. What?
Kushida
and Strong were the opening match. It was so fucking hot in there.
Leila Hirsch defeated Diamante.
Yeah.
Lee Moriarty defeated Wheeler Yuta by pinfall for the Pure Rules wrestling match.
Poor Wheeler is all I got to say. A guy that came out with a lot of hoopla and now nothing. Wheeler useless.
Red Velvet defeated Billy Starks for the Ring of Honor Women's World Television.
Did she actually fight a piece of cake? Because that would have been more interesting to me. Just thinking that because that's the cake we had yesterday.
The Von Erichs, Marshall Von Erich and Ross Von Erich and Dustin Rhodes with Kevin Von Erich.
Yeah, he was in the corner.
Defeated the Dark Order, Evil Uno, John Silver, and Alex Reynolds.
What? How'd they get in? They sneak in the building? They were like, well, you guys are already here. If you clean up the ring, we'll let you wrestle.
The winner will face the Undisputed Kingdom for the vacant titles at Battle of the Belts 9.
Which we should go over that too. But go ahead.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that was happening.
I know there's so much shit going on there down in Jacksonville with AEW.
Yeah, they don't even advertise Battle of the Belts.
This is what I mean. Tony needs these PR bots. Keep going.
Atlantis Jr. defeated Leo Rush, Shane Taylor, your favorite.
Sweatpants promotion, swim trunks promotion.
Brian Cage, Lee Johnson, and Johnny TV in a survival of the fittest match.
Well, we got a whole lot of nothing going on there, don't you?
Athena defeated Queen Amianta by pinfall for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship.
Was that the main event?
Semi-main event. Main event was Mark Briscoe defeated Roderick Strong with Matt Taven and Mike Bennett by pinfall.
So that Ring of Honor thing is just like a participation trophy for Mark Briscoe because he finally made it to the big time.
You know what I'm talking about!
So that's it, huh? For Death Before Dishonor?
Yeah.
Oh, I would have chose Death. Thank you very much. All right, Battle of the Belts 9.
Ring of Honor is just depressing.
It is, and he says he's going to do more with it, but I don't know. Battle of the Belts 9, right? Let's see here. They've had 9 of these already. They've only been around for 5 years.
They tried doing like 4 a year.
What happened to Fight for the Fallen? It's Battle of the Belts 11. I'm sorry, not 9.
Oh, sorry. I read the Roman numeral wrong. I'm sorry.
Now your generation don't know them anyway.
The Fight for the Fallen was a charity thing that they did.
Yeah.
For shooting victims.
All right, I'll call these ones out here. Timeless Tony Storm, the AEW World's Women's Championship Eliminator match. I fucking hate that word. Every week is an eliminator. Eliminate me from watching. You have. But Tony Storm defeated Taya Valkyrie by pinfall at 9 minutes and 10 seconds. Next match, Willow Nightingale. Oh my God, this is like a dream match for me. Willow Nightingale and Deonna Purrazzo.
I thought you didn't like Willow Nightingale.
I'm warming up to her. I told you I had a thing for Shirley Hemphill and what's happening.
Sweat hogs.
Deonna Purrazzo. But that was for the CMLL Women's World Championship. It's another eliminator. Fucking Christ. CMLL Women's World Championship elimination match, which Willow defeats Deonna at 11 minutes and 30 seconds. Purrazzo lost. She can no longer challenge Nightingale for as long as Nightingale is champion, which is great because Deonna's a decent enough name that they brought in there, and now she's been shit-canned. Dustin Rhodes and Marshall and Ross Von Erich beat Undisputed Flatulence. For the Ring of Honor World 6-Man Tag Team Championship, it was vacant. It has now reared its ugly head again. And that's it. 3 matches? That's it?
That's all it ever was. It's an hour.
Yeah, but you got 9, 11, that's 20, 33 minutes of wrestling. It's like an old Raw from the mid-90s. Yikes. Sorry, I wasted my oxygen on that one.
It's like when they had Marty Jannetty as Intercontinental Champion.
That's fucking match of the year. And the first match when Michaels won it back was the first match they ever used instant replay.
They're terrible mullets.
Yeah. Sean did not have a terrible mullet. Sean had a great mullet.
All mullets are
terrible.
terrible.
Mullets back then bowed to the Shawn Michaels mullet.
All mullets are terrible.
Back to the AEW news. Warner Brothers Discovery talks are ongoing. Warner Brothers Discovery matched the $1.9 billion that Amazon bid for the NBA, which I don't like the fact that these streaming services are buying up sports. But they did not match the terms of the deal, so Amazon wins out. I think AEW on WWE would have been doomed if they had laid that much to keep the NBA, and they got it. But now they're suing Amazon. Don't ask me why. It's like, I guess, unfair business practices or something, but we'll find out. I'll find out over there. You hear coughing in the background. We do. We record this right below a tuberculosis ward. So Camille debuts at the 724 Dynamite. Aligns with Mercedes, right?
Yes. Mercedes is Diesel.
She's pretty big too. She's pretty big.
That's what she looks like. And then she came in and like raised her hand up like Diesel did to Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
She's giant. She's like 6 foot.
Well, Mercedes ain't gigantic, so he probably looks even bigger.
No, well, they tried. Mercedes tried making them look the same height because she had like these massive heels on, and they did a photo shoot where she stood like closer to the camera. Yeah,
like remember with the Lollipop Guild World Order picture I showed you? God. They had one of the Bucks standing closer so he looked tall.
God, you hate them.
I hate them.
They must have did they fuck one of your wives or
something?
They
could have them both. I don't care. Collision will be at the Arlington, Texas Esports Arena for the rest of the summer, and I think that's good. It looks good there. I think they ought to put their focus on that more, making the arenas look better. Because you have an empty arena, like those pictures, looks like a piss hole in a snowbank.
They should buy the ECW arena. Just do their shows there.
Yeah. Every week. It would be filled to the fucking rafters. It would. People would be hanging. It would be insane, and it would be great. You should give it that kind of look, like an outlaw look.
We could go there like every month.
Oh, we could cover. I'd go there. We could go there more than once a month. Definitely once a month.
We'd be
if we had top tier wrestling going to ECW every week. Fucking A, I would be there. I never got to go to ECW. Pop wouldn't let me borrow the car. He thought that shit was real.
I mean, in a sense, it was.
Yeah, but it was not like at 17 years old. I shouldn't have been going to that by myself. I knew a lady that went to that on a date one time, and she got up and her chair was gone. Because it was like going to a cockfight. It was terrible.
That's why ECW was amazing.
That's right, but
it felt like
take a hit.
It felt like something you shouldn't be watching.
But that fucking arena is so goddamn hot. We wouldn't be going in the summer at all.
I know.
Because it's a big brick building that's painted black. It's like you stepped into an oven to watch wrestling. Even with the gates open, the garage doors, it's still hot. But Britt Baker and Mercedes Moné got into it at Comic-Con, right?
Yeah, it's a good tactic because Mercedes...
I like that. Going on real stuff and attacking people.
Mercedes was dressed like Poison Ivy. Camille was dressed like Bane.
Yeah, I saw their picture later. Because apparently some fan had commented on Mercedes on Twitter that she's a shitty wrestler and said she went there because she couldn't cut it anywhere else. And she goes, I'm the GOAT. I'm like, Dynamite comeback. Tony Khan says WWE PR the ones saying he agreed to a new deal with WBD. Who cares? They don't care if he did or not. Their deals are done. They're not trying to squash him. But maybe it has something to do with those bots you're talking about. AEW has apparently given Plumber Moxley time off. He hasn't been backstage since Forbidden Door. That's almost, you're going on like 2 months now. So hopefully he hasn't fallen off the wagon. I won't make a joke about that because that's a serious thing.
You just don't like him because he's a good wrestler and because he looks like.
No, I don't like him because he sucks.
You don't like the civilian contractors.
Yeah, I don't.
Corbin Drywall and Handyman Services.
Moxley Plumbing and Beretta Stone, like the Rosetta Stone. Sammy Guevara, we talked about return to ROH, and he's there to help.
He has a man bun now.
Who does? Sammy?
Yeah, I couldn't see a good picture of it. I just saw like a crowd video of it, so I couldn't see a close up. I was really hoping he would be gone forever.
But he says he's there to help Dustin Rhodes. My only response to that is meh. That's it. I got nothing for you.
Hey, the Von Erichs are stars in the making.
Maybe. I always liked them with MLW and everything.
They do the Iron Claw.
Yeah, and you can have triple Iron Claws with their old fart father, their last Von Erich.
Hey, apparently he was crying in the ring when they won the belts.
Oh, he's got to be so proud of them. That guy's had a hell of it. If you watch the Iron Claw, I mean, a lot of that shit isn't factually based, but he doesn't. That guy went through a lot. He's the only one left of like 6 brothers. I mean, I didn't grow up with brothers, but I have 3 sons, and I can only imagine that.
Yeah. The Von Erichs.
I just had your mother fucking locking me in the room while she had her friends over drinking. So, but on to the miscellaneous. You want to talk about Bobby Lashley?
Yeah, they're talking about the Hurt Business possibly reforming in AEW because MVP has said, I saw some article that MVP said he's leaving from WWE.
Well, last year they're not doing anything with him anyway, are they?
No,
they haven't done anything with him. He was supposed to fight Bray Wyatt last year at WrestleMania.
They really haven't done anything with him since Triple H took over.
Yeah, and Shelton Benjamin to be rumored in it.
Do you remember when they had a storyline? I wasn't even watching WWE at this point. I just remember seeing commercials for it on USA when they did a love square where
instead of a triangle
was with Rusev, and then Lana left Rusev for Lashley, and then they were getting married in the ring.
Jungle Fever.
And that's not funny. And
it was a movie in the 90s.
Liv Morgan came out and said that, I can't watch the love of my life get married in front of me. And I'm not talking about Bobby. I'm talking about Lana! And then Rusev...
No, and I'm glad, because I think I would have blocked this out.
And then Rusev came out and attacked the wedding. It's like when they had Kurt and Karen renew their vows on an episode of Impact.
I saw that.
And Kevin Nash attacked the priest. And the priest got confused and said he pronounced AJ and Karen man and wife.
Yes, that was.
And then there was a whole storyline where Karen was trying to use her womanly charms to manipulate the young AJ.
Why? Why do you do that?
Like when AJ was.
Why do you work in this garbage to everything? You're talking about me and the shit.
World Wrestling All Stars. World Wrestling All Stars. Howard Stark's penis. Baba Booey. Baba Booey.
Jeff Jarrett doesn't. What the fuck was I talking about? Jeff Jarrett doesn't rule out bidding on TNA if the company ever goes up the same. He's just going to ruin it for a second or third time.
There are three things that can survive anything in this world: cockroaches, Twinkies, and Jeff Jarrett.
And before we get to our last bit of news, WWE Hall of Famer Abdul the Butcher has been hospitalized for a week now in Georgia. The 83-year-old is dealing with an intestinal issue. Can't believe he's that old. Oh. Hannibal, what are you saying? Hannibal reported that? All right, and our final little bit of news, we got a little thing about Vince McMahon going on here. So, yes, we have more news about that. The legal team of Vince McMahon filed a motion on Thursday to lift the court-ordered stay of the Janelle... Turn that shit off! You broke the show the other week.
The first mute deaf rapper, MC Baba.
Get back to this here. The suit filed against McMahon himself, WWE and John... Are you going to let me talk? I'll have you thrown out of here. I'll have security come in and throw you out of here. Shut up! The suit filed against himself, WWE and John Laurinaitis, was put on pause in mid-June by the Department of Justice as a federal investigation into McMahon continues. Means the earliest the suit could resume would be December 11th of this year. McMahon's team is now taking a different tactic. In a statement to WrestleNomics Brandon Thurston Thursday, McMahon lawyer Jessica Taub Rosenberg stated the following. Today's motion is in response to Ms. Grant's flagrant violation of the federal stay order. Basically because she's suing that Dr. Kolker for her medical records.
The medical records have, at least currently, nothing to do with Vince.
No, they don't. And
it's very possible that they could tie
They will have something to do with it. But suing him for her medical records, which she's entitled to, is not have anything to do with Vince. So Vince is going to be ass out on this. So the truth is, a lot of talk out there. May I continue, please? God, I can't wait to end this show today.
MC Baba.
Shut the fuck up and let me talk.
I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest. Chris Canyon, I get my hands on you. I'm gonna eat your ass like a pot of collard greens, baby.
The feeling is that Dr. Kolker will flip on Vince McMahon, or already has flipped. He's got a multi-million-dollar operation with that Peak Wellness. I don't think he wants to lose it.
He's probably going to lose it anyway if he gets.
Did you see that fucking guy, though? He's a steroid freak, too. He's fucking huge. He's a little dude, but he's fucking jacked as a motherfucker. So.
Like comic book accurate Wolverine.
Yes. Well, I guess next week we're going to...
Oh, yeah, speaking of, I meant to say this earlier. I have something to expose my co-host for. Just as he will always make fun of me for laughing at Bray Wyatt's death, I have something to expose my co-host for. My co-host thinks that X-Men Origins Wolverine is a good movie.
I said I liked the movie.
Exact same fucking thing.
I didn't say it deserved an Oscar.
You like it, and you think that it's better than The Wolverine.
Well, that's because I think I watched that movie when I was stoned one time, and I kept not knowing what the fuck was going on. Sometimes movies take too long.
You like the X-Men movie with Will.i.am?
It wasn't bad. I told you, when I was living alone back, because that came out in 2009.
Yeah.
I was living alone, and that was on Cinemax like every day. So I would like sit there, like, you know, when I was doing my laundry or something, I would watch it.
With Liev Schreiber as Sabretooth.
He was good. He's better than Tyler Mane.
He doesn't even talk. In Deadpool and Wolverine, he's in it for like 2
He lasted
seconds.
like 3 seconds, didn't he? Don't ruin the movie for other people like you tried to do to me yesterday.
I told you one fucking thing.
But next week we'll be back with the SummerSlam wrap-up, right?
Say what?
Good night, everybody.
Get your hand off my penis!